Oh, hi there! Welcome back. My name is Hizkia, Nogie Runkat, and you might call me Hizkia. And I'll put my student number in the description box later. So, I'm here to tell you about the insights or the materials that I got when I watched a YouTube video titled How to Write an Effective Research Paper. It is on YouTube and I'll put the link in the description box. So I make this video in order to fulfill an assignment made by Pak Riza during the class of Inggris Akademik Class E. So I thank Pak Riza for that. So in this video, I'll tell you about several things that are being stated in the video, but basically there are 4 things that is being stated in the YouTube videos. First is about the overview of research writing. Second is about the structure of the research paper, like there are 4 structures that I will explain later. Third is how to compose its sections or its structures in order to make a beautiful, a comprehensive research paper. And the last is on the tips for how, so that you guys can make a better research paper, or you might call it improve your skill. But before I jump into any kind of explanation, I just want to explain to you guys about 4 important factors in order to make a better research paper. First is about coherence, second is organization, third is about relevance, and the last is about clarity. First, coherence. Coherence means that you only need those necessary information in order for you to fulfilling the research paper. What I'm trying to say is that you only need those necessary informations to be put in its sections, not any unnecessary information or those repetitive words. Because if you're using repetitive words, repetitive phrase, unnecessary information, then the viewers or the researchers, common people exactly, would not be interested in taking a look about what is the information that being provided in your research paper, because exactly they will get bored. So basically all you need is just necessary information. Second, organization. What I mean by organization is about the structure in the research paper. It's called IMRD and it consists of introduction, methods, results, and discussion, which I will explain later. The third one is relevance. Relevance means you choose the right data and make it focus. Make a limitation, make a group of data, and just not a general thing for you to be discussed. You just need to pick the most important thing to be discussed, so that's why you need to make a priority scale, importance scale, and something like that. And the last is about clarity. You need to make a comprehensive research paper yet easy to be understand. You need to use proper grammar because it is professional work, and then you need to locate the target of the viewers that this research paper will be targeted into, and also the platform of the journal that this research paper will be published into. You need to understand their style, you need to understand the appeal, so that the research paper will target it into the right group of people. So I'm going to explain about the structures, right? In the video, he stated about the structure being like an hourglass. You know hourglass, glass pasir, right? It's coming from a broad one to the specific, and then it comes to a broad one. So basically, the introduction is the first one and it's the broadest one. It is like what is known, the condition, the current status quo, the problem, and then what is unknown, the problem that we want to solve, and the information that we want to know, like what kind of those things. And the third is about how and why we should fill the gap, like the hypothesis or the questions that we want to answer to the unknownity. And the fourth is about the methods, and then it becomes broader in the results, discussion, and conclusion. I will explain later. So as I said before, the structure stands for IMRD, right? Introduction, methods, result, and discussion. But apparently, the first thing that you should make in the research paper is the methods first. After that, it is the results, and then you make the discussion, and last, it is the introduction. Why you should make the introduction last? Because if you make it last, then you don't leave anything out in the introduction. I mean that introduction is the beginning of the research paper, right? And then if you're including it in the last, if you're making it at the last, at least you already know the purpose, the result, or the significance that you want to put into your research paper. And then the introduction will be just like as perfect as you already know what's going on into your research paper. So that's the thing. And then I'll explain thoroughly for the structures. First is the methods. Methods is how did you do the study? What kind of materials and methods that are being used in your research? For example, if you are making an experiment, then how would you like to collect the data, to collect the sample, to conduct the experiment, for example? Like, if I were the researcher, then I would write the methods first, like what kind of methods that I want to be achieved, and the analysis method, obviously. And then there are 4 things that should be considered into the methods information. First is about the materials, where and what kind of sample. Second is the preparation for the materials. Third is the measurements, and the last is about statistical methods of analysis. All of the methods should be organized chronologically and from the most to the least important. What I'm trying to say is that if you're making a method, there's no way that it should be like scattered and just like messed up, right? It should be chronologically from the earliest to the latest. But you should also consider that if you have like these specific methods that you want to enhance or like you want to highlight the most, then you might put it on the first method, right? And there are like some technicalities in making the methods. You should use passive voice and past tense, and it's only like 3 to 4 paragraphs. But basically, the important one is that you might want to make a heading to introduce what's coming on the paragraphs. So basically, if you are having an experiment and it's consists of like 24 steps, you might want to divide it into 3 parts, where each part consists of 8 steps, for example. So each part there will be a heading that show what is the 8 steps are going on, like what are the intentions of these steps. So yeah, basically that's methods. The second is about results. Results is about what you found. You should explain the important findings that are relevant to answer the question. You should present findings in the same order as methods, and then you should present the data that has been prepared, right? The data that has been acquired during the methods, and then you make an analysis. You might address another research questions. If they're like comparison, you might compare the data and find the difference, and also don't forget to make a reference. The third one is about discussion. Discussion is about what do the results mean. Explain the results and implications to your area of study and include limitations. So basically, like after you do the methods, the experiment, and then you get the results, and then you analyze and interpret the result. You might want to criticize the study's methods and suggest improvements for better research in the future. But basically, there are like some things that you can do in making the discussion. First, you might summarize the process, the results, and the overall purpose of the study. So the previous parts before the discussion, you might make a summary out of it and put it on the first paragraph. And then the next paragraph will be like comparison between the recent study and the previous study. And then you might offer justification as to why your methods are being used, and then you might identify another results and enhance significance of these results to the research or importance. And then the fourth is conclusion. Conclusion means that you indicate the impact from the research, like what do we got and what are the effects, and then you might make extensions and suggestions in the future research. So basically, yeah, if I'm the researcher, I would say that, oh, I make the research paper, and yeah, I can prove to you guys that A is doing great and has significant impact to B, and then I might make suggestion in the future, like maybe if A being mixed with C, then you can, I don't know, find a better impact or find a different impact for B, for example. So suggestion and then like conclusion are like the things that are being considered important, because that's like the whole point of a research, right? And then the last is about introduction. Introduction means what does this study do and why is it important. Introduction is the most important point, alongside with other points obviously, but he stated in the video that introduction is the most important point because introduction makes viewers to be got interested into the paper. Like basically, if you are having like significance background, like comprehensive problem and background and then solution, then the viewers or the researchers might be able to get interested to it. First thing first, you might use literature references, and then the introduction should use any kind of problems that currently fit in with the current society and the current problem, so that it could adapt with the time right now, right? And you should establish the context, problems, purpose, aims, limitations, and status quo. You should also mention the keyword, as I said before, because exactly keywords are the things that building up your research paper, and also hypothesis or questions that you want to ask from your research. Lastly, there are like things to be considered when you're making a research paper. First, cite knowledge that is relevant. Second, don't forget to include citations, because if you forget, then what you do is called plagiarisms. Third, define the terms that are needed to be defined, because if you don't define it, then where are we supposed to know what kind of research that you're doing in your research paper, right? And the last is, okay, so hi, basically the video got cut, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, the memory was not helping me, so we'll fix it on that. So I'm continuing. So the last things to be considered when you're making a research paper is that don't discuss methods and results in the part or in the section of introduction. Why? Because in the section of introduction, the solely purpose is just for you to introduce the backgrounds, which consists of problems, status quo, definition, questions, hypothesis that you want to highlight on your research. So let it be. Meanwhile, the methods and the results, they already get their own space, so no need to worry. The last thing that he stated in the video was on how to improve quality of writing. So basically, he told us to pay attention to grammars because there are like grammar errors and stuff. He highlighted these three uses. First is the article use, and the something like that, and then the nominalization, and then also the past present tense. The nominalization is something like the meaningless verb that can be removed. I mean, like if you're like making a sentence full of sentence, there are like some part of the sentence that can be removed and changed into another sentence, or not another sentence, few words that is just way much effective rather than before. So that is what you call nominalization. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's the essence part of the 1 hour long 1 hour long of the video. I hope you guys enjoy my review, and if you guys have any questions regarding to the topic, please just let me know by make a comment in the comment box. So thank you everyone. I hope you guys have a nice day. So wherever you are and whenever you are, have a nice day, and see you when I see you. Bye.